Coming up on Mountain News this morning, many Kentuckians out of a job are trying to file for unemployment, but are having problems. And we share the story of one Kentucky nurse heading to the U.S. epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak to help ease the burden of an overrun healthcare system. And with many schools canceling or postponing graduations due to COVID-19, one Southern Kentucky college is taking the experience online.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Wednesday, April the 8th, and your time is about 6:36. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, I know you all have been working hard to track the possible storms coming into our area, so can you tell us exactly when we should start looking out for that severe weather?
Absolutely. Two waves will come in later today. We'll have the first one will be scattered pop-up type storms later this afternoon in the heat of the day, and the second one will be the cold front, which will drift through overnight. We'll track it hour by hour here in a little bit, but let's go to satellite radar first this morning and show you what's been going on in the last 6 hours. A little bit of moisture trying to make its way into the mountains right now. Most of it's been off to our north and east, but starting to pool south and east, so we're going to continue to watch that as we head through time. Temperatures, we'll go back to our camera here in just a second. Temperatures first, we're looking at 65 in Pikeville, 67 Prestonsburg, 69 in Huntington, a lot of low 60s to mid 60s down to the south, 57 in Wise. Speaking of Pikeville, here's our Pikeville Medical Center camera this morning as daylight gets ready to break across the area, and so far so good, but again, some things are about to change later on. Let's track it on the WYMT weather app. You'll see that you need to download that if you don't have it already, because we're going to be getting some strong to severe thunderstorms later as temperatures climb into the 70s. Scattered chances around all day long, but our best chances come later today and tonight, and of course we want you to stay updated. We'll talk about how you can do that coming up here in just a little bit. Katie?
Thank you, Brandon. Many Kentuckians out of a job are trying to file for unemployment, but are having problems. Some can't file a claim at all, others' claims are pending and they are getting no response. Some are even getting a direct deposit, but no money is going into their account. Governor Beshear says they are working to fix the problems, but one man says he would just like more communication from the state.
It's nothing, even if it's a piece of paper in the mail. But they're letting us know nothing. Why there's so many people that ain't getting nothing. I understand that they're busy.
Governor Beshear says they will continue to hire more people to help process the claims. New York has been the hardest hit state by COVID-19. The state is reporting more than 130,000 cases of coronavirus. Healthcare workers from around the country are now heading to the state to help meet the demand. Victor Puente talked to a Kentucky nurse who is preparing to head to the epicenter.
The stories coming from healthcare workers in New York City show just how much strain is being put on their people.
There's people that are working every day. 7 days straight, 20 days straight.
Yesterday, their governor said the healthcare system was on the verge of being overwhelmed. Critical care nurse Casey Jackson tells me she's used to taking care of 2 or 3 people at a time, but up there, the numbers are much higher.
So if you're having 4 and 5 and 6 of those things happening at the same time, you have to then decide which patient's room you're choosing to be in or which patient you give your attention to.
Right now, she works at St. Joseph Hospital in Lexington and Clark Regional Hospital in Winchester. But in 10 days, she'll head to New York to help in their fight against COVID.
We're trained to take care of the injured or the sick where you are the most needed. And that, for me, is New York.
Jackson expects to return back to Kentucky sometime around June. She said when she does get back, there will be a 14-day self-quarantine before she can return to work here. While she's there, she plans to FaceTime with her 2 children. She sent them to stay with their father while she treats infected patients.
That part's a little bit harder than the actual work part of it, but they're safe, so that's what matters.
She tells me one of the reasons she's able to go is because Kentucky's healthcare system is relatively stable. She believes the people staying home deserve a lot of the credit in our fight against the virus.
That's the people that are choosing not to go out when they shouldn't. They're the frontliners because they're taking care of themselves and their loved ones.
In Lexington, Victor Puente, WYMT Mountain News.
While Jackson expects to be back in 8 weeks, it's possible her stay could be extended up to 13 weeks. Cumberland Falls State Resort Park is still open, but the people running the park want to make sure visitors do not do anything to spread COVID-19. The park is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and officials ask people who have symptoms not to visit. They also note that there might not be full access to water fountains and restrooms. They also are asking people to avoid being in crowds and to stay 6 feet away from others. While the CDC's guidelines of no large gatherings due to COVID-19, schools are having to cancel their graduations. But one local college is trying to still let their students have their special moment. WYMT's Emily Bennett takes us to Union College in Barberville, where they are planning a virtual graduation.
For 4 years, college students dream of graduation day.
The act of walking across the stage has been one of the biggest things that I've been looking forward to for the last 4 years.
But now, along with the last couple months of classes, that has been taken away.
Definitely not something that I foresaw. I don't think it's anything that a lot of my classmates foresaw. But that's just the way things are right now. We have to sacrifice the things we want to do to keep the majority of us safe.
Staff at Union College started thinking of ways graduation could still be held.
May 9th is not going to go by without us still celebrating our grads in some way.
So plans of a virtual graduation began.
And we're meeting weekly and trying to still get all of the elements involved here.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they're planning, and I'm grateful that they're at least doing something.
The virtual graduation will be filmed ahead of time with the commencement speaker, faculty, and a picture of each graduate as their name is read.
I hope that we'll see some pictures the day of our students standing beside their full spring with their picture and their degree and all of their honors that they've achieved.
But they also hope to hold an in-person ceremony this winter.
We hope to do right. Even if there's some doubt right now among our graduates, we hope when this is all said and done that we have done right by them and given them the celebration they really deserve.
Trying to make the best out of a disappointing situation. In Barberville, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Union College did not want to promise students a ceremony that could be held this summer as everything is still uncertain. They do hope to have one in the winter, but have not released a date yet. An exciting update for all of you sports fans. Shortly, 64 players will be selected for the first Hoops at Home tournament. Gen G and the University of Kentucky released this video yesterday ahead of the selection show for the NBA 2K tournament. Tournament registrations exceeded their goal by more than 400%. 400 of the 64 contestants, the bracket will be split into 4 groups.
So there'll be 16 people per bracket, so 64 total, and each bracket there'll be future students, prospective students, current students, alumni, and then Big Blue Nation.
The first round of the tournament will tip off at 5 p.m. Friday.
Dry start to the day so far on this Wednesday, but it is a WYMT severe weather alert day outside our hazard studios. The clouds are starting to move in. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the daytime hours today. More clouds at times, more sun at times as we head into the afternoon, but temperatures still very mild regardless this morning. 57 Wise, lots of 60s, and close to 70 there in Huntington, West Virginia this morning as you head out the door. That is several degrees warmer. Wise is even warmer this morning than it was this time yesterday, and you see anywhere between 4 and 14 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Your out the door forecast today features temperatures that get back close to 80 again with some southwest winds. A mild morning gives way to scattered chances for showers and storms deeper in the morning going into the afternoon. Afternoon and early evening a concern, and then the overnight a concern. So here's how you can stay updated. WYMT.com, of course, the latest news, weather, and reports coming into us. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fill it up for us once those storms get going. If you have reports, be safe in sharing those with us. And then, of course, the WYMT weather app, a way to get custom alerts and warnings and all kinds of things, and you can track the rain on the radar. Katie?
Alrighty, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, one Whitley County woman is facing serious charges after police say she hit and killed a pedestrian.